Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm not in the studio or outside Old Trafford. I'm in my kitchen, and the weather in sunny Salford is not too sunny, actually. It's pretty grim. So if you're going out, make sure you've got your parkers on. Loads of Manchester United stories to get through, including ones following on from yesterday's game, of course. Those are the main ones, to be honest with you. A lot of it is focusing on Erik, Ten Hag and Marcus Rashford, and the Lisandro Martinez challenge as well that happened during the game. It wasn't really a challenge. It was where he sort of stamped on the ball. And Jamie Redknapp, who was on commentating from Sky, has been firing a few shots regarding what went on with Marcus Rashford. We'll go through it sort of chronologically. So Marcus Rashford wasn't picked to start for the game. He's been in good form. I think he's hit 3 goals in the last 2 games, 2 against Barnsley, 1 against Southampton. But so was Alejandro Garnacho. If it was up to me, I would have started Marcus Rashford, but it's not exactly the end of the world starting Alejandro Garnacho, who has been banging him in, or starting Joshua Zirkzee or Amad Diallo. For that matter, United do have options. So just ahead of the game, or when that was announced, sort of, Jamie Redknapp was sort of trying to cause a little bit of mischief, I think. He was sort of inferring that maybe there was an issue there with Rashford and something that's gone on between the manager and the player. Jamie Redknapp said it feels like something has gone untoward. I don't know the details, but you don't drop a player that has scored 2 in midweek and against Southampton. I'd be nervous to say he's back, but he's showing signs of the Rashford from 2 years ago. It feels like something has happened maybe this week. I don't know the manager's frustration. It is unusual for a manager to out players for their lifestyle. This follows on from Erik Ten Hag sort of saying that last season, mentioning like what had gone on with Marcus Rashford off the pitch, and then saying this season he's obviously, more focused or whatever. He said, Sir Alex Ferguson would never have done it, whereas Ten Hag has done it on a few occasions. It's not always beneficial to the players. Now, after the game, Ten Hag was asked about this, and he said, already there is speculation. As a person, you are not okay if you bring such speculation when you don't know. This had nothing to do with the sort of lifestyle off the field stuff that he'd referenced. I'm very happy with Marcus. His defending and his offensive duties. He's scoring at the moment. It was just about rotation. Then after the game also, Redknapp said, I can only imagine when he woke up to those headlines, it wasn't enjoyable for him. He was probably going, why is the manager bringing that up? So that's again, Erik Ten Hag referencing what went on last season and off the field stuff as well. And he said, initially I read it and it was almost like we figured it out. And this was why Marcus wasn't doing well last year. He wasn't living his life the way a professional athlete should. But obviously it's been taken slightly different because he gets left out today. I don't know what's happened this week. It might come out. It might not. Rotation, he played 63 minutes in midweek and got 2 goals. You don't take a player that has 2 goals out of the team. Alejandro Garnacho scored as well, though. He scored 2 goals as well, so it's not like it's just, one player who's scoring 2 goals. Rashford scored 2 goals, Eriksen scored 2 goals, and Garnacho scored 2 goals against Barnsley. Do you think that they're going to do that with Mo Salah at Liverpool? It's just not going to happen. Something has gone on that we don't quite know. But Ten Hag refutes this. It's just, it's Jamie Redknapp sort of, for me, making a bit of mischief or getting it completely wrong, putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 73. He then goes on to say, but if there is something a little untoward and he's not living his life right, that's something only Rashford can take control of. You've got to make sure you're on it all the time. I mean, I don't think there is anything like that. I don't think there is Marcus Rashford has done something wrong or the manager's fell out with him. I think it's just a case of the manager deciding to rotate. Now, do I agree with that? As I said earlier, no, I don't. I would have started Marcus Rashford, but I understand it. I understand why he decided to give Alejandro Garnacho a start and why, obviously, Diallo and Zirkzee started as well. Listen, I like Erik Ten Hag. I've backed him. I think he made a couple of errors yesterday. The Marcus one, you can argue, if he started, he might not have scored or whatever. The substitutes, again, I understood where he was coming from, but it felt a little bit overkill for me to make all those substitutions within the space of time that we did. To take off Eriksen, Zirkzee, and Diallo. Now, Eriksen, you can argue, look, he looks a bit leggy. I get it. Zirkzee, he's not played 90 or whatever. Did he have more in the tank? I still think he did. And Diallo didn't even start against Barnsley. I don't get that one at all. Those 3 were causing Palace the most amount of problems. When all 3 of them came off, it sort of, for me, it took a little bit of wind out of our sails. That's not me turning against the manager, but you can back a manager and still be critical of him. But I don't think the Marcus Rashford decision before the match was a massive mistake. You can argue, like I have, that maybe he should have started, or that you'd have preferred him to start, whatever. But I don't look at it and go, wow, what is he doing there? That is outrageous. And I also don't think there's anything untoward. I think that Jamie Redknapp's looking for things that aren't there. And he wasn't just finished there, Redknapp. I don't want to make it all about him, but a lot of the papers and a lot of the press and everything, and obviously the Mail have picked up on it. Sky are obviously covering it because it's their commentator saying it. It was about Lisandro Martinez. So he was having a bit of a dig at Lisandro Martinez for a couple of things that happened during the game. One of the things he took a dim view at was Martinez having a bit of a fight. He called it fighting with Ismail Assar just for that double save, before that double save, when Andre Onana made a fantastic double save to keep Manchester United in the game and probably save us a point. And he says that Martinez was arguing or fighting on the wrong side, gets caught the wrong side with Sarr. And he said, I tell you, he's lucky here. Martinez, for some reason, he's trying to get in a bit of a fight. Sarr comes in, he follows it in, and Martinez gets caught the wrong side. He's the one who's hesitating. He gets lucky. His keeper bails him out. And then there was the sort of jump, the Martinez jump. I don't know what you can call it. You call it a tackle, I don't know. It was weird. It wasn't really a tackle. It was just, he sort of jumped downwards, didn't he? Missed the player, thankfully, but it was just crazy. And listen, I love Lisandro Martinez, but it was a bit of a moment that could have ended up in a red card. And obviously, they spoke about that. It was on Daichi Kamada, and they said he was lucky. Him and Phil Jones, Jamie Redknapp and Phil Jones were talking about it, and they said that he could have, it could have been a worse one. He said it's a difficult one. He is probably a bit lucky there. There is almost no need to go in with 2 feet. I think if he's a fraction out, he's seen a different colour card. That's from Phil Jones, sorry. And Redknapp added, I couldn't agree more. I'd love to tell you what he's thinking. He goes into position. He wants to go in 2 feet. I don't know. It is a tackle we saw many years ago. I don't know what on earth you are thinking. You are going to gain by jumping in with 2 feet. Now, listen, I'm not Jamie Redknapp's biggest fan. I said during the watch along, he does my head in a bit. But I get that one. I don't understand what Lisandro Martinez was trying to do on that front. And it was a bit ropey. And it could have then ended up costing him a red card. And obviously getting him suspended and possibly as well costing Manchester United a point yesterday. So it's got to be a little bit careful there. We all love the Butcher. We like him getting stuck in. But we don't want to see him giving Jamie Redknapp an excuse to have a dig at him. Not that Jamie Redknapp needs many excuses to have a go at Manchester United or try and do a bit of stirring like he has done with the whole Marcus Rashford and the Martinez stuff as well. So you can see what's going on here already. We've got people sort of speculating about what's going to happen with Erik Ten Hag. Erik Ten Hag's future. Football Insider have sort of done an article here saying the 4 Man United men, who will decide Erik Ten Hag's sack fate. And it says Dan Ashworth, Omar Brada, Jason Wilcox, and Jim Ratcliffe will be the key figures in deciding whether Erik Ten Hag loses his job at Manchester United. There's always going to be this speculation when we aren't winning football matches. We've had a good little spell. The win against Southampton, the win against Barnsley. Decent wins, good wins, emphatic one against Barnsley. Little bit annoying that we couldn't get over the line against Crystal Palace because I felt that the performance was much better. But we're in this position where every time Erik Ten Hag loses or draws, he's going to be under this microscope. Whether you like it or not, he just is. And it'll happen again. We lose or draw at against 20. That won't be, I don't think that'll be the death knell, but the Spurs game is massive. I keep saying this about games, but this is where we're at with this manager at the minute. If we lose to Spurs, he's going to be under immense pressure again. I don't think we will, but if it does happen, and I've been wrong my predictions before, then he could be facing more scrutiny and on borrowed time. I just want us to start winning football matches consistently. The performances are getting better. Now we just need to see the results. Get involved in the comments in the chat. Make sure we're not doing you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. We're back tomorrow with the Paper Talk outside Old Trafford. I've been Jay Motty. This has been a Paper Talk from not so sunny Salford. Thanks for watching.